All right, we're back, and it's now almost time for Luminosity versus OpTic. We got them on 2 maps here, and before we get into that, I'm going to let you guys meet my co-host, Vendetta, in case you haven't done that yet. Hey, Vendetta, how's it going?
It's going fine. You?
Yeah, it's going well, going well. We got LG and OpTic. We got quite a bit of implications on this match, and who are you taking right now is just a quick favorite?
Quick favorite, honestly, on Nuke. Recent trend, I'm kind of leaning towards Luminosity. I was kind of hoping that OpTic would show up with Jason R today, so we would have same lineup, or at least for 3 weeks in a row.
Well, it's funny you say lineup because we're actually going to talk about that lineup right now. Let's take a look at OpTic, Tarek, Rush, Naf, Mixwell, and you're going to notice Hazed. Run us through the situation right here.
Well, yeah. So obviously for the last couple of weeks we saw OpTic. Well, first of all, they didn't have a standard 5th, and then they ended up playing with Freak for a week, and then Jason R to follow up with that. And with Jason R, they actually managed to take a map off of SK, right? So not too bad. You might have expected them to keep on with that track and work with them for the rest of the season. Them hiring Hayes, obviously, that puts them in a bit of a different situation.
Well, without any further ado, let's take a look at their opposition now. Over on the Luminosity side, Destiny, Yell, Showtime, and you know what? I'm going to give it to you this time. Obviously, it's Pickle. That's not even a question.
I'm good with PKL and Shaz.
Pickle. You're wrong. Sorry. Shaz.
PKL and Shaz.
You want to go with Shaz? That's the one I was going for. But these guys had a tremendous start to their season. They got off to a really great start, have seemed to have stalled out just a little bit, not with the same momentum they had before. So what is there to expect from this Luminosity lineup?
Well, the weird thing about this Luminosity lineup is that, as they've progressively, slowed down in Pro League, they've done, better in leagues outside or qualifiers outside of it, right? So they've gotten to, the last stages of qualifying for Star Ladder or this or that, and they're making waves in that sense. So right now they kind of have to hope that the trend continues or comes back to Pro League for them, so they can actually get a couple of W's, because 2 wins here on 2 maps that are actually pretty even, I'd say, in terms of like how you favor both sides. I think that could be a massive opportunity for Luminosity.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I do see that one team here in Luminosity should probably try to get that momentum up, but there's also this explosive factor that comes with this OpTic lineup. I mean, there's very much a chance to come out here today just full swing.
Yeah, and I guess you can have full swing and you can have too much swing, right? And we've seen that from especially Mixwell at times, where he overagresses, overpeaks, and that could be the end of OpTic. But also, if he's hitting his shots, I don't think anyone on Luminosity can compete.
That won't be the end of OpTic. I don't think there will ever be an end to OpTic. Let's take a look now at OpTic on Nuke with Eric de Beer Stromberg.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to another Stromberg Strategies. We're going to take a look at Team OpTic on Nuke. And one point to make is that OpTic, they've had roster changes throughout the whole season. So one thing you can see lacking in a lot of their matches is that solid teamwork that builds over time with 5 people. It takes time, it takes work, it takes practice to do that. So OpTic, even though they managed to have a new 5th pretty much every other week, they still managed to stay up top. How they do that, and I think a lot of it has to do with individual skills as well. As you can see right here, Jason R, who just recently was playing for them for about a week or 2, he's coming through here. As he peeks this lobby, as you see a little bit of the teamwork as the rest of OpTic is making distracting peeks from the vending machine and kind of squeaky door, and allows him to get 2 kills. Right here, Elige, he has to pick 2 targets, Tarek and Jason R at the same time. Great peeking on them. They both peek at the same time. Rush right here, he's being very patient. As you see, there's only 30 seconds left in the round, and so him hiding there kind of caught Team Liquid off guard. And look, a bomb. He took on a 3-on-5 situation to a 3-on-2, and now I like this play. He throws a smoke because he's going to force the T's coming through smoke. You're going to see a lot of smoke plays in higher levels CS because it's so powerful that if you walk through smoke, you can't see anything. So it's always an advantage if you're playing behind it, as you see right here. Very smart play by Rush. And now for another one by Mixwell. He's so good. As you pause right here, what's so awesome about this is that it looks like he's putting 0 effort at all in this kind of situation, but it's not true at all. He has great movement and great crosshair placement, angle holding. As Tarek is baiting for ramp, he calls out multiple people. Multiple people are out ramp. Mixwell is going to peek a small tight angle, move his crosshair probably a couple inches. That's it, and he's going to get 3 kills. As it just, I mean, it makes it look easy. He just makes it look too easy, but that's not. It's just years of playing and practicing, and a smart play by Mixwell. And he's going to clean out the round here. Spoiler alert. But again, as you see right here, he's playing behind the smoke. A lot of teams do this. It's annoying to deal with. You as a as a person who's on the other side, you have to respect this because you can't push through it. You're going to get killed. But unfortunately for Stanislaw, he's caught off in the wrong spot. He gets taken out. OpTic, great individual play. Hopefully they get a 5th for a consistent amount of time, build up teamwork, and you can see that level OpTic reached back in December, hopefully, you know, in the near future. Back to you guys.
Hey, thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Now, we're going to get into Nuke with these two teams. Give me a quick prediction.
Actually, probably a bit surprising. I'm going to side with Luminosity coming into this. They've had some decent Nuke games leading up to this, and I think the fact that OpTic are going to have to play with another stand-in is going to be an issue. I don't think individual skills can carry them each and every single time.
But you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's always a chance.
Well, there's a chance. There's a 100% chance on that we're going to throw to Blue and Daze. We're going to take the action away from here. Take it, guys.
All right. Thank you guys very much indeed. We're going to be jumping into our first map of the night between these two teams here, and it's going to be on Nuke. Not a favorite map for our observers, but actually a map that we've been seeing a little bit more amongst some of the NA teams. It's a very slow process, but they're slowly kind of phasing it in here. Thoughts on this map between these two teams specifically?
Well, Luminosity, this is their chance to really propel themselves possibly into playoffs here. Yeah. They're really battling for that 5th, 6th spot, along with OpTic. But if they could win this, it's a good time to strike, right? OpTic doesn't really have a stable 5th. They're not really practicing. Trust me, I'm playing a lot of PUBG with Rush lately. They're not practicing that much right now, so this is a good opportunity for LG to actually, you know, take maps off OpTic. If they could win 2-0 here, or even go 1-1, that's going to help them a lot. I think if they go 0-2, I don't know if I see them making playoffs, though. I think Immortals will, you know, Immortals, energy, and whatnot. I think they could overtake them.
Let's steal it away from them. Well, we are seeing Luminosity kind of get prepped to push their way into the site now. It'll be a little bit delay. And just for clarification, too, Hayes is not stepping in yet. I'll talk more about that when we get into the second round here. But Tarek seeking 1 kill in, traded out more so, but it ends up evenly 2 for 2 now. Mixwell kind of on the outside of the mini garage here now, waiting to see if he can try to play himself into it, but doesn't actually pick up the kill. In fact, it's PKL with another one, leaving it down to just 2 alive now for OpTic, and specifically now just Mixwell, since PKL has eliminated Rush. And they already know where Mixwell's playing from too, so it's an easy job for Destiny to eliminate him and for Luminosity to pick up the pistol. And yeah, just to clarify, JSONR is very much still the 5th player trialing out. Hayes is the coach. He'll be filling in during Sydney because of the fact that JSONR has like a prior commitment or something like that during that time frame. So he's playing there, but for all intents and purposes, JSONR is still the 5th player. Hayes is just coming in as the coach.
Yeah, and OpTic losing that pistol round, so Mixwell, he was in an impossible situation. That player at 2-vent, even if he went down, his players were going to peek from the silo. And nice shot by Tarek. Just takes out PKL's head with that scout. 4v5, very, very winnable round on the CT side of Nuke on 4v5.
Yeah, Naf just swinging his way in over here towards the inside of the T lobby way, and well, it's working out great for JSONR and Naf. Both of them picking up kills there. They did lose 1 on Mixwell, but now they've brought it down to a 4v2. Yell, thankfully, still has the bomb on the outside of the T lobby. Him and Showtime are going to try to work together to sneak their way in and see if they can battle this back a little bit. OpTic didn't really stay in the T lobby, though, after finding this, because they kind of dipped back into both the A room and back over towards the ramp itself to still look to defend this in a more normal way. So there's still an opportunity for Luminosity to maybe kind of swing in here and upset a bit, but there's a little bit more firepower now on the OpTic side too. Naf having the AK to play with, Tarek still having the scout up and running as well, so it'll cause a few problems, but regardless, Luminosity now with 50 seconds remaining are starting to kind of play their way in through the tiny shed here, but already JSONR spotting out one of them. The Molotov trying to go back, doesn't actually block a whole lot up, just restricts his positioning, kind of keeps him in the open if Showtime goes through with his own push. Eliminates one, Yell trying to flank around over here to find JSONR. He does get that kill, but a trade rolls out from Nap, so it goes down to a 1v1. 29 versus 16 HP, and Showtime is going to be smart about this. Doesn't want to take an open fight, especially against a player in heaven with a scout. So he does decide to fall downstairs through the vents and goes for the plant here instead, where he'll have a much better chance of being able to actually clutch this one back out. And Tarek didn't even realize this until just now, so he's going to have to move pretty swiftly over towards those vents, and that's really his only route downstairs quickly enough that would get him into a position to be able to clutch this back out, since he does not have a kit. Drops down, hoped to find his opponent sitting right there, but it's not the case. And now with time getting lower and lower, Tarek is basically going to have to go on a wild goose chase and hope he gets lucky to find the position of Showtime. Finding the door open over there. Now just going into tag onto the bomb. Again, time's pretty much run out, and with that Molotov, that should seal the deal. Even if Showtime does die here in the next few seconds, the round is going to go into the favor of Luminosity. So nice recovery down. I believe it was a 4v2 at one point there, but they do bring it back, and Showtime is the one to seal the deal.
Yeah, and OpTic did not play that well in that 4v2. I think NAF should not have been ramped. They should have had one of their lesser gun players spot and then react and rotate to lower. He probably should have been top hut or Mustang spot with the AK. He'd be able to lock down upper. You already have Tarek watching the secret steps. You don't have to worry about that. And the setup was just all wrong in a 4v2. If NAF is Mustang or something like that with an AK, he's probably going to get 1 or 2 just so easily. He's going to be able to watch all of upper basically.
Well, now PKL starting us off pretty quickly into this third round here. He's already found Mixwell on the outside. Not a whole lot of presence beyond that from OpTic. I think he's got Rush, but he's inside of Heaven, so he's pretty safely tucked away right now. This will give free control of Luminosity to sneak the bomb through Secret and down to the B bomb site if they want to. And actually being a little bit more self-conscious this time of a possibility of a more aggressive push from the ramp room itself. Tarek is going to move over to try to contest Secret. And he actually does ding PKL, so it brings him down to 6 HP. But still, PKL sinks the kill. Takes him down, and now this is a 5v3. And they also look like...
I like, you know, I mean, as we see, should be able to just clean up on this anti-eco pretty quickly, though Destiny does go down. I like LG's chances here. You know, playing with the OG guys a lot, they're really sneaky at times, right? They can find openings in all these different areas, you know, like flanking people and then relaying that information to their teammates. They're really good in situations like that. You know, I play with them all the time in Rank S. And Nuke is one of the maps. I mean, what, if you make it 4v4 on Nuke, like there's gonna be openings. There's gonna be ways to kind of sneak around and get in a position where you could easily flank and whatnot. And then they have really good teamwork when somebody does get in a situation like that where they could relay that information to their teammates and kind of open up the round that way. Now we see OpTic with a full buy. No Molotovs on them, but they have 5 M4s.
That's going to be Luminosity. Look at this very quickly. Destiny already swinging open the doorway, the main doorway into the A site here too. Doesn't follow through with it, but he's going to pop the door open with that HG grenade and then smoke it back off to make it look like they're trying to go for like a fast vent drop, but that's not the case. In fact, they're sneaking pretty quickly over towards Secret. The problem is though, is Secret's mollied out, so they can't actually go through towards it just yet. This kind of leaves
their molly though.
Yeah, that leaves PKL in the open for a few extra seconds, and he's going to go down. Rush catching that kill, and now going back over here finds 2 more.
He played that so well. He's the ramp player. He saw the outside smokes. He goes to help outside, gets a kill through the smoke, then goes back ramp and kills 2 more. Unbelievable.
Yell's going to be able to counter out Mixwell when he tries to sneak out from the box alley there, taking him out, but I mean, still a heavy cost to Yell. He's down at 4 HP now, so I think he's just going to hang out here, actually, and try to see if he can, at the very least, get a little bit more intel about what's happening on the upper site. But Showtime sneaking through Secret and is going to kind of shuffle his way over towards B to hopefully get a bit of a plant there. I think he is anyway. I'm not sure if he's with Showtime still. Yeah, he did go downstairs, so he's fully committed down here. And Yell just hoping that he can get lucky and catch a player looking down the ramp and not necessarily in the direction of Hell, which may be true. At the very least, he may find it open and have an easy path to go down those steps. But with 30 seconds remaining, these last 2 are going to have to make a move for the site pretty soon here, as otherwise they're not even going to have enough time to get themselves out and get the bomb down. But thankfully, their chosen paths have been pretty correct up to this point. And I think even moving into the B site, they're not going to be finding a whole lot. Obviously, NAF inside of the new Toxic room here with the double doors. But beyond that, there's actually not a whole lot of presence down here currently. That doesn't mean rotates aren't going to be coming in quickly at all, but still, NAF down here, they're going to have to go for the check, and it's Yell with 4 HP, but he still instantly finds the headshot against NAF. And now they've got mollies inside of the vents. They're going to re-molly it. Unfortunately, they weren't paying attention for a fast decon push, and Rush is actually ended up with an ace on the round as he finds those final 2 kills.
I'm telling you, Blue, I think the best 3 players in North America right now, and probably have been for the last few months, is Stewie, Automatic, and Rush. I think they are the best 3 players in North America. And then 4th, I would actually say Nitro. And Elish.
What's your thoughts on the whole like LAN versus online performance with those 2? Is that something that gets brought up a lot actually about how kind of both of them show up a little bit more on LAN than they do online?
Yeah, no, I think they're better, definitely online. Nitro, I mean, as far as every player in North America is concerned, I don't think there's another. If you had to give me one player to just hold an angle, like Fence on Cash,
yeah,
if you're gonna pick any player to just hold an angle like that, I would pick Nitro. Out of any other North American player, I'd say yeah, Nitro, each and every time. Online, he dies a lot, to be honest, holding angles like that. But That's just because it's on like Counter-Strike and everybody has 50 ping and the peeker's advantage is just too much to overcome. But on LAN, he's going to get that kill like every single time. And then Elise is just like super insane and dynamic in all those chaotic environments and stuff.
Well, Destiny's going to try to swing up the vents after he does get through Secret Free. Nobody's paying attention to the site, though, so Jason R only gets one, but I think he assists on a lot more than that. And OpTic do indeed close that out. It's a bit messy, of course, and a bit chaotic within the site, but they do win it out with 3 players left alive. So they get their second there, and that puts LG in a position where they really can't buy here, actually. They're at most probably going to be looking at a half investment unless they decide to full force. They do decide to pretty much full eco this one. Just a couple upgraded pistols, and that's going to be it. Even a few of them working with Glocks still, as Destiny and PKL fully safe without any investment at all. So they're going to go pretty quickly towards outside here. At least Yell is hunting for deagle headshots primarily, but there won't be any contention on the actual outside area here, where the T's are going to start pushing from. Mixwell goes inside of the warehouse, spots them on the left, but nice shot from Yell. Knocks out Mixwell early on here, and now Tarek as well spotting some more aggression by the T's inside of their own lobby. Possibly being able to read into this will more than likely turn into a possible pinch towards the upper site. Seeing if they can sort of just overwhelm A. But Jason R is still up on Heaven. He's going to be able to actually be in a really good position to counter on a lot of pressure from the shed here. Oh, nicely done from Showtime. Just catches Terra going out. Jason R trading, and nice swing as well. Gets the second one and the third. Rush with the fourth as he kills a player downstairs. And now it's just Yell with 2 HP. Keep in mind, though, he did pick up the AK from his first kill earlier on in the round, but still with 2 HP and basically nothing else to work off of here. The bomb even going down. This is pretty much already sold. More than likely, OpTic will be tying this up at 3. Best hope for Yell is to sneak off 1 or 2 more kills. Of course, try to clutch, but they should have a pretty good idea as to where he's moving from. So he'll sneak in here, Rush, just holding in the corner, and Yell can't even see that. So he moves out, actually gets the first kill, but the trade from Rush is going to move in pretty quickly after that.
See what I mean by if he had the AK at Mustang? If Nap was there? Right? Pretty good spot.
Yeah. There's what started it all, but unfortunately that was really the only thing we saw going for Luminosity in that round. As beyond that, they were knocked out pretty quickly by OpTic, and trying to crunch on that upper site didn't really work out too well for them. Coming off of that, though, they are directly back onto another buy round here with full AKs, so we'll see what kind of strat they do tend to throw at this one here. And again, just busting the door open right from the start of it. Smoke goes in over top of the Molotov from the CTs, and they dive into the vents. It's Destiny down here really quickly, and we'll probably try to clear a path for some of his teammates, but he's being followed by Tarek, and I'm not sure if he realizes it just yet. He heard something and made him check his backside a moment ago, but no longer paying attention to it. Tarek easily just goes right up behind him, knocks it out. PKL, though, is going to catch Rush in the open this time, behind those boxes. They're out from hell, so finding him there opens up another pathway for Luminosity to try and push in towards the lower site, but now they've already got Tarek somewhere near control room. There's reason to believe that there may be 1 or 2 more down here as well, so this is actually a good decision for Luminosity to kind of hold back a little bit and maybe try to wait to see if the defenses from OpTic reset before they fully commit to this one. And it even works out better as they find Tarek going up the vents and trying to go into the door through the T lobby way. Showtime's going to knock him out there, and now they'll probably feel secure enough to go into this site, as that was the player that originally went down the vents before. As they do move in, Mixwell hitting a shot, I believe, onto Yell, but not the full connection, so it is only going to bring him down to 21 HP. Naf spots PKL. He tried to go behind the box for safety, but wasn't able to fully jump behind it in time. So the bomb's gone down on the ground. We should see full rotation coming in at any moment here. Jason R, I think, just being careful in case anyone was going to try to link push in, try and go down the vents and counter it out. Naf just picking him off, however, from the detox room. He's now found a second here against them. They find SHZ easily hiding in the corner, and now it's just Yell alone. He'll sneak up on Jason R from up on top of this catwalk here. Now he's got a lot more to go. He finds Mixwell trading out a gun. 1 more to knock out. It is Naf, though, the player that's already picked up a double kill in this round, and he's not paying attention to his right side. So in a moment, there you go. Naf's going to walk right up and finds his 3rd and final kill from Detox again. And with plenty of time for the defuse, OpTic will pick up a 4th.
Great hold by Naf. Really nice strategy by LG. The crucial thing that hurt them in that round, though, is they had no smoke grenade to really get down and kind of force the plant and force OpTic in bad situations. So Naf able to, get a couple kills over at Detox. That's because they don't have a smoke. They don't have a smoke to plant the bomb in, and Naf able to capitalize off that.
Yeah, regardless of the win from OpTic, though, it's still making it a bit more of an expensive round for them, dropping 4 to 5 players again. So very close in Luminosity. Off of that one, do feel the necessity to buy in here. They're only going to get, basically, with the exception of Yell, just smokes behind their buys here. but they still indeed are going to have the capacity to try and push in here and have the gunpowder at the very least. Try and set up a bit of a smoke wall, mix well. Ooh, a few seconds earlier there, and he might have hit that. For right now, not going to be able to find the connection, and promptly, after missing that shot, falls back. And ooh, Ken has a lineup here. In fact, catches them moving out of the smoke this time, taking down PKL, relays the info, I imagine, on the second player there. And indeed, it'll work out great, because Mixwell just goes up towards Heaven, picks up one more kill, and it's down to Yell now alone in the 1v3 with no great positioning to work off of the bomb going down. And he's pretty much boxed out at every avenue here. So more than likely, this should be a quick shutdown from OpTic. There you'll have it. Jason R, a little bit aggressive there, but he does take the final kill.
Yeah, LG trying their best to dwindle their economy down. They do have money bonus to work with now. Mixwell just seeing a little bit of a gap through that smoke, able to kill the players coming through mini. And LG, you know, they're strategy-wise though, they're playing pretty well. They're throwing the smoke. Sometimes they're getting down lower through the vents, then going ramp. They're throwing outside smokes, trying to throw them off before they went down lower. This time they, you know, tried to wrap through mini. So they're mixing it up. But OpTic's just, you know, a little bit ahead of them, one step ahead, kind of just, you know, rush, leaving ramp, getting outside kills, going back to ramp. Mixwell watching mini, gets that kill. And as soon as Mixwell gets that kill, he relays that information that it's a mini split to upper. All of a sudden, all his teammates are all on top of it. They know exactly what's going down, and it's a pretty easy hold for OpTic.
So it has been a 5-round streak now for the OpTic roster. Luminosity only having 3 rounds off of the virtue of winning out the pistol and the following 2 anti-ecos. So they are not looking too good right now, and because of that, they've chosen to go for the tactical pause here. Already expired though, so we're right back into the action, and we will see what OpTic has to offer. As Naf is going to be taking a bit of lessons from the Shroud camp, possibly, as he's now also going to go for the AUG buy here in the 9th round on the half. While the rest of his teammates still sticking with the normal pickups here. Luminosity do kind of force into this one a little bit here. Tech 9s and armor buys. I think it's just half buy, actually. So they should still have enough money for the next round afterwards. Destiny going to be working with an ump. And we will see as they smoke it off pretty quickly past the red box here. Just going to be going for really quick secret control downstairs into the B-bomb site. Not really wasting any time either, transitioning this to the site. They try to go for it, but Nav now having the AUG to play with. Tarek also picked up 2 kills. He's got to kind of run away though as he's out of ammo. Just tossing in the nade to hold off any extra players that would have followed him through. It's down to PKL alone after Mixwell picks up the 4th kill against SHZ.
The AUG meta.
It's in full swing now. It's
I feel like the AUG shoots faster than that before.
Well, that actually be...
I think the fire rate's faster.
It might be, actually.
You know, I don't think you could judge any of the weapons by, like, the graph, though. The CSGO. Like, you know when you buy the guns? I'm pretty sure they're all from, like, beta. And the guns have changed, like, 10 different times since then.
Well, it's like... There was the nerf to the firing rate of this gun, this version of the M4. That was like a year ago, I think.
Oh, it used to be a laser beam. Everybody used it near the end. It was insane. And it was 2,900, right? For a long time. Oh.
Yep. It was the same price, was it?
I think it was 200 cheaper, right?
Yeah, no, that's right. Then they made it the same. They made it the same with that patch. That's right. Well, this time it's a huge stack of OpTic players challenging that door play. Showtime is going to be outside here, trying to re-challenge against Mixwell here, but he doesn't get the kill. He only brings him another 7 HP, so he's going to be able to fall away from this one. And the rest of LG kind of remains spread out, but most of their players centered around like lobby and the push over there towards ramp, just kind of taking their time and then having Showtime control outside. Whereas everybody else on OpTic, after a few adventures here at the beginning of the round, also set up in a pretty standard pattern here. Yell trying to check out, make sure there was nobody holding close vents. PKL did find Tarek outside here, so this will give Yell the ability to kind of push back out. But the molly in his way is going to force him out further. Nobody's paying attention to that, at least until Jason R checks for it. He'll be able to take down Yell. And now again, advantage to OpTic as they hold 4v3. And Luminosity is also not even really getting any control. They keep trying to seemingly force the issue out into this upper site. But every time they do it, they just lose all the players. I think PKL will feel safe to move out though now after hearing what he probably interpreted as Jason R falling back, and that was indeed what it was. You could hear the footsteps just a moment ago there. So now Jason R actually going to be holding into a pretty close corner here behind the nukes themselves. Mixwell picking up a kill. Showtime trying to move up to punish that without going into hell, as I think he's still cautious of Rush being in that hallway and being able to counter out. Backing up further and further, but he can't spot Mixwell just yet. He's looking for him. I think he sees what might be him, but he wants to fully confirm it, and indeed he shall. Takes down Mixwell with a cheeky headshot there, eliminating him. Rush just straight on the Showtime though, and now it's SHZ alone in a 1v3, where Jason R, back on the site, is going to finish off the round.
Yeah, and Luminosity's getting in positions where, you know, they have opportunities to win the round. I mean, even that round, you know, I mean, it was a 4v3, but if they're able to kill Jason R, maybe it's Silo or something like that. But positionally, OpTic is rotating really well. They're generally in position to trade the kills, even though LG might have a chance at winning the round. OpTic always has that extra guy there that really turns the round to their favor.
Well, we do have, again, pretty similar positions being taken up by OpTic this time. Mixel just trying to be careful of like Twinkie action over top of it. Not going to be spotted just yet, but Luminosity are indeed going for outside control. Once again, it's been their go-to. Senate, however, in varying degrees of players. And Mixwell, I think, is going to tag Showtime through the box a little bit. Oh, lining up 2 in a row, though. He eliminates Yell and goes right back in for Showtime. Remains peeked out. Misses that third one, though, and that's where PKL is finally going to get the trade. Still the damage being done. Brings us into a 4v3 with no real control to show for it. Out there, smokes and whatnot are gone. They're 2 beyond. PKL outside are trying to move in towards the ramp and looking to get control here as they will line up to potentially swing down the steps, where defenses from OpTic are actually quite light. They should be able to, at the very least, get a plant down there, since most everybody on OpTic is still focused upstairs. But I think one player may have swung down in the meantime and potentially is watching out from the vents. Not peeking out just yet. Tarek up on top. Down below, they do have Naf waiting inside of those vents, but not in the direction you'd expect. He's actually watching out for secret pressure. And while moving in, apparently nobody's paying attention to those vents, as Naf is just going to walk right up, find Destiny looking in the complete wrong direction. PKL tries to sneak inside of the mini garage. Tarek's going to find him there. SHZ up close. Naf wins it out again with the AUG. Even at close range, doing massive damage, taking out SHZ.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the AUG one-shot's close range. Not 100% sure. Like, I think it's like kind of like a 250 one-shot them if they're that close, but then from farther away it'll do like 90 or whatever. So that's another reason why the AUG's pretty nuts. I gotta start using it a bit more. I just suck with the scope. Whenever I scope in with it, my aim is wild. Okay, I have no control. So I don't know. Maybe hold the angle with the scope, but then everything else down.
I mean, all the PUBG has got to be helping with that, you think?
True, the red dot sight is
just getting used to scopes now.
No, absolutely.
Well, now for Luminosity, spreading their players out here. Obviously not going so well, but at the same time, some decent damage traded into OpTic guys. You got Roshan with 2 HP, Tarek's on a 20, but Destiny, Showtime, and Yell suffering a kind of similar fate here. And all of them stacked outside once again. Very similar problem to what we've seen before, just really failing to get that good control outside to safely push towards Secret and then transition it downstairs. Destiny going to try to sneak out through the ramp here now. I believe he went in through the vents, but working his way up. He's got Tarek. Unfortunately, he doesn't check from behind those boxes, and that's where Naf is going to be able to trade that out pretty quickly afterwards. So down to 2 now on LG. Both players split up here. SHZ, or excuse me, Yell outside of just the mini garage there. Mixwell's going to have an easy kill when he wraps out into the open, and for SHZ, he's got the bomb, of course, so maybe he can sneak into plant, but there's, I think, 1 or 2 players here defending on the site. Just can't hit a shot. So Jason R is going to take him down.
Yeah, and after giving up the pistol, OpTic winning 9 in a row. LG's had a couple opportunities, especially that lower sight one. If they would have won when it was lower sight in the 4v3, when Naf ended up getting that 3K at Detox, well, all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure that was it would have forced OpTic to an eco round, and we could have been seeing you know, maybe like a 6-6 scoreline or something like that. But unfortunately for LG, they couldn't capitalize off any of these opportunities.
Well, we do have OpTic again, trying to push their players forward early on here to take some of these battles, but it's Luminosity. And ultimately, again, will have to take the engagements themselves and try to knock out OpTic's players early on in the round. And we can see Mixwell taking that duel. Once more, just waiting it out, and so far been almost flawless on outside here. He takes another kill down right at the beginning of the round. It's SHZ getting eliminated. The others trying to lurk their way in, but now Mixwell's inside of the warehouse here, and he's up to 3. A 4th awaits him if he goes for the re-peek. Finally missing on that one, but re-peeking again. Finally goes down to PKL. Jason R actually having to be a little bit careful here because he could just get pushed from that doorway there, which is exactly what's going to happen, but he's ready for it as he does weigh out his own aggression, takes down Destiny at the doorway, and PKL's now alone in a 1v4, where he's actually going to be able to take down Tarek, getting a little bit over-aggressive there. Still, though, the damage being done, bringing him to 3 HP, and now the second he peeks out here, Jason R waiting for it. Finalizes things yet again for the OpTic side. As they're in double digits here in Luminosity, really yet to solidify themselves, and this has been a full 10-round streak from OpTic.
Yeah, pretty dominant once they got some guns. Just rolling over LG. I mean, LG's had a half buy every other round as well, but Mixwell just kind of dominating them outside too. Every time they go outside, Mixwell seems to be getting kills. LG just not really on point teamwork-wise, you know, not throwing the flashbangs when they try to go through mini to kind of blind Mixwell. And OpTic just making great reads.
That nade a little bit too deep. If it had been thrown a second earlier, it could have had massive impact. And actually the problem is now it's going to kind of overwhelm them. Rush tries to spray in past the smoke, but doesn't mean anything there. This is finally room for LG to sneak back in. They not only got that kill, but they knocked off half the HP on Rush, and they're going to get probably pretty free control downstairs overall. So that's the plant going back in. It's going to take OpTic quite a bit of time to line up in positions for this retake. And LG still have all 5 players up and rolling at this point. So this is a great start for them. They're just trying to kind of investigate in the vents there before swinging around over here to the toxic doorway, checking it out. Oh, good initiation, though. SHZ was not ready for that at all. So immediately knocking him out, looking for the angle to try and contest towards control, and he does succeed in it, but still not going to be able to get the kill in time. Destiny gets the better of him. Same with Showtime gets the better of him, and then PKL and Destiny pick up an assortment of kills across the board beyond that. And OpTic finally losing out a gun round here as Luminosity are going to pick up a 4th.
Yeah, and I actually thought Rush was playing ramp, but I think this is how what OpTic is doing. When outside smokes happen, immediately NAF goes to lower from ramp, and then Rush is actually the rotator. So he's fighting outside, and then he goes back and spots ramp for NAF if they're going to come down ramp. So I think that's how OpTic's setup is working. The one round we really saw them challenge Secret. Tariq and Naf were both there. They kind of read that they were going to go down Secret. And then another time, if you remember when they went down lower, which kind of furthers that theory, is that Yell opened the door, if you remember, and he killed Naf while he was in the new room or whatever. What do you call it?
Decon?
No, the other one, the double door inside lower.
No, just Toxic. This is new Toxic.
New Toxic, okay.
Yeah. Because the old Toxic is now just Decon.
Yeah.
It's not even technically the same position, but close to it. Anyway, Yell finding Tariq early on here, and Mixwell actually getting surprised a little bit by that late peek. So this is great on the opener from Luminosity. Great trade from Naf, though, up on top of the step, up on top of the ladder, and immediately trading that back out. So it does bring it into a 2v3. Problem is, there's Luminosity again, full control of the site, just really fast-paced play as soon as they start their actual hit. And it works out great for them, as now OpTic completely boxed out of the site. Both, I believe, are going to try to move in through the mini garage, depending on what Nap wants to do here. Rush does pick up a kill on Yell, so re-evens it, but he took a lot of damage. He's also got a lot of utility, though, so definitely, in my opinion, going to want to try and use some of this before he has to push back in and possibly lose his life. Molotov could very easily burn a player back out. 1-for-1 trade as they do move back in. Nap not checking his corners, though, and that's going to lead to Showtime, closing out on Nap and giving Luminosity a 5th, as they do finally get 2 rounds together at the end of the half, but a full 10-round streak from OpTic Gaming. And with that, they'll hold a hefty advantage coming off of the first half. Stick with us, guys, to see if they'll be able to continue that domination to close out this first map, or if LG will round the comeback.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Well, we are back now, folks, and it's time to get into the second half here between OpTic and Luminosity. OpTic with a huge streak in the middle of the half there, and Luminosity, although they won the pistol in the following 2 rounds, were very silent until the last 2, where they did manage to scrub a few gun rounds together and make it 5-10, which is, you know, they can definitely recover from
definitely respectable half. I mean, if they could win pistol and not get eco'd, I would actually favor them to win based off what we usually see on Nuke. Having said that, we'll see. I think OpTic, I don't think they're going to play with an immense amount of strategy on this T side. I think it's going to be a lot of solo plays where they try to challenge ramp, they try to challenge outside. Mixwell is going to be going for aggressive picks and things like that. So remember, they're not really having much practice with this lineup at all. And we'll see if LG as individuals can stop that and punish that type of play. Or if, you know, OpTic's going to continually make it 5v4 and leverage that into round wins.
All right, well, we're into it now. Luminosity onto the CT side with OpTic jumping onto the offense. And on the opening push, let's take a look and see what OpTic are going to do. Mixwell kind of moving in to see if you can catch anyone from LG, getting a bit more aggressive on the outside there. Won't catch anyone. LG holding back actually in pretty passive positions here to start things off. Just your usual spread of players across the map. A couple in A, one holding inside of the ramp room, one outside, just kind of watching for a usual push from there. But OpTic are a little bit scared of, actually, I mean, all across the map, just watching out to make sure Luminosity don't do anything aggressive. We can see from a lot of their players' positions, but not spotting anything in the first 30 seconds or so. They're now ready to move in to take map control themselves, and it looks like the first bit of this may end up working its way out towards the ramp, where Destiny awaits, and we'll see if they'll be able to hold this properly. Instead, just runs away from it, actually. He doesn't want any part of it. And what's going to be interesting is that OpTic, instead of going down that ramp, bypass it, go to hell, now try to sneak up. There is a smoke in the way up here, so Showtime is able to avoid immediate death. There's a lot of T's up here, though, and they've got to be careful of that. SHZ finding one, but Rush now swinging down from heaven, trades it out. Naf also knocking out Showtime, but SHZ had an angle to drop the bomb planter. Didn't stop the bomb itself from going down, and after we see that kill, Mixwell and Tarek finalize on the last 2 frags, picking up the pistol.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So they throw a smoke heaven, and they rush ramp to up heaven, and that smoke, obviously, as we saw, covered the majority of those players, and then they had that player who threw that heaven smoke kind of lurk into lobby and try to pinch onto that site. Of course, things could go horribly wrong depending on who's in heaven there, but for them it worked very well. They're all, you know, jumping up the ladder and whatnot, like making it very hard to just get a headshot on you. So I like that strat a lot from OpTic. Now we see them slow it down. Mixwell outside with, I believe that is Tarek on top of yellow. A couple guys holding lobby, and we'll see how they decide to scout it out here.
Double dates. Yeah. So he's dropped down pretty low to 25 HP.
Mixwell's pissed.
So yeah, probably won't be.
I already know what Mixwell's saying. Are you kidding me? Or something like that. I play with Mixwell way too much. Enriquez.
So he'll have to try and go a little bit more sneakily forward at that. You're having a good time with that, aren't you? But now we do have the rest of OpTic again moving in to take control. Back to what I imagine the original plan was here. The smoke's in, but actually they're going on the left side of that one to wrap back around inside of the mini garage. Well, the timing on that one could not have worked out better. Jason Artis catches Yell leaping down from on top of the shed. Tarek finds PKL in heaven. Finally a trade from Showtime here, but ultimately Tarek's just going to hold inside of the mini garage and take out the last few players there to give OpTic their 12th round.
Yeah, 12-5. Should be 13-5 here after this round. So after Mixwell gets dinked, they throw those outside smokes and they actually wrap towards the mini. So it's a little bit of a fake, like they're going to go secret, wrapping towards mini, splitting on that upper site.
Well, now with the full save in effect here for Luminosity. No investment this time, so we can expect a pretty quick closeout more than likely from OpTic. Possibly something a little bit more interesting. Yell did go for the Zeus buy, but he'll be the first one to die, so never mind on that one. Couple trades, however. Showtime and PKL, they do go a bit aggressively into that site, so it does open up the possibility, of course, for those trades. But I think Mixwell realizes that he's out there, so he goes in, and Tarek closes out on the last kill there.
I know how every player sounds way too much.
Do you?
Yeah, so say Nitro gets one digged.
Yeah.
He'll be like... He'll be like, what is that? How does that happen? Right? If Tarek gets one digged, he'll be like, I guess I'm getting one digged. Like, say it really sarcastically. Mo will just rage and just start slamming his desk.
Oh, and a double tag from both the offers to start off the round here. Both Yell and Mixwell hit their shots, but it's through terrain on both of them, so neither one actually gets the kill. I miss the days where you had those like alternate channels streaming the tournaments that had like the comms and stuff like that too.
I know. As a player, I'm so incredibly against that, but like obviously I'm not a player anymore. So as a fan, it's the best thing ever. It is the best.
Nades again early on here against Yell, bringing him down to 16 HP. Were some good videos like Katowice 2015 and whatnot from that.
I think it was 2014.
Was it? I think it was somewhere around there.
They did it a year later as well.
Yeah, they might have done it at both. Because it was like Cologne 2015 where I think they stopped doing it. But anyway, Yell moving back in here, finding Mixwell. Tarek with the trade up from up on top, but there's still the problem in hell. And oh my god! Tarek tries to drop down the surprise Yell, but Yell's got a surprise of his own. Just destroys Tarek through the wall. Naf with another trade, bringing this into a 2v3 now. And he's going to leap inside, supported by Jason Art. He spots the player up on top, knocking out SHZ. We're even again. Naf with another one, and he even finds Destiny with a nade in hand. They both just move in and
have the bomb.
Crunch on lobby, and they DM their way to a victory.
Yep, didn't even have the bomb. That's why Jason Art went through that squeaky door. And Destiny, you know, just had like a knife out or whatever, because he was going to try to flank, and bomb was outside T lobby. So ends up working against Destiny.
So this is going to be a pretty obvious tactical pause from Luminosity now. Money's at a very bad point. They're down, what is this, like 9 rounds, I think, against OpTic at this point. OpTic basically need to win out just one more here, and they're all but secured unless we saw a 10-round comeback from LG. And really the decision being made, do we force here and try to win out, or do we just eco this one and try to play 10 rounds straight for OT?
I think I would buy. You'd force them on an eco, maybe? No. I'm not sure what OpTic's money at. Probably not, actually. But still, I would buy. Yeah, OpTic would still buy, even if they lose this round. But I would buy here. I don't think you have enough. I think if you put them on game point, they're going to win one of the next, 9 rounds after that. Or 10 rounds or whatever, so. NA math.
Yeah, be 10 rounds. So, indeed, the buy does roll in from the LG side.
Actually, NA math's a lot better because we don't have that weird metric system thing.
That's easier, though, to do math with.
Says who?
Because it's all powers of 10. It's not like 1 mile equals like 5,320 feet or whatever the measurement is.
Makes sense to us.
It doesn't, though. Like, that's the problem. Do you know how many feet
are you American or not, Blue?
Yeah, I am.
Stop. Everything we do is the best.
All right.
Whether it makes sense or not.
I agree our date system's better. They do it in order. Mixwell will find the first kill this time around, though, taking down PKL. And they're just going for full outside control, right, to start this one off, which means they can get a really easy pinch on A if they want to. They do move in towards the garage there. SHZ didn't look like he was in position to counter it, but still gets the kill there. However, Rush back over here on the catwalk, wrapping around to heaven, finds another kill against Yell, eliminating him, bringing this back down to a 4v3. Obviously, OpTic, some caution being utilized here. This is actually...
Look at how low HP everybody is.
Not only that, too, but Luminosity still has pretty much full control on the sites. But waiting this one out, the Molotov actually is going to stop SHZ from moving out. It originally looked like he was going to peek outside.
Rush is just looking at his teammate like, are you trying to kill me, bro?
So he moves in, and actually it's Naf that gets that kill there. Tarek finalizes another one, and it's just down to Destiny here at a 1v4. So despite the low HPs, this is probably not possible at this point. And considering the buy they would have going into the next round, it wouldn't be completely out of character to just fall back at this point.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not going to win this round, but a nice, just tactical, just slow pinch on that upper site when they have that 4v3. I mean, you're coming through lobby, mini, heaven. It's just, it's very, very difficult to hold if you're a CT.
And now him going over here towards the roof to look for that save. And really just trying to capitalize on any exits they can get. It's going to be a long run for Luminosity, even if they do start it up and winning up the next one. And unfortunately for Destiny, isn't able to even eliminate 1 out of those 4 players. So everybody makes it out alive for OpTic there, except for Jason, who died earlier on. And his reinvestment won't be too big of a problem with the money that they have. So this is it now. A full investment from both both teams, but it only leads into LG picking up 1 M4. And the other 3 are going to get an SMG in the case of 3 out of 4 of them, and Yell's just going to be working with a scout. Utility is also pretty spread around here. Yell, however, does find the first one amongst that chaos there, as it looks like OpTic just tries to force the issue outside. He won't make himself available for a trade. What's even worse is Mixwell's kind of just in the open here. He's looking for a kill, over commits, and that's going to lead to SHZ taking him down. All of a sudden, it's a 5v3 with Luminosity having a huge advantage here, unless Rush can try to turn something around outside. Tense here for him now. He's hoping he can catch the peek from Yell. Yell just reconfirming the position of Rush from up on top of the mini shed, though, and now he's kind of got to fall away so he doesn't get overwhelmed here. The rest of his teammates working their way through the lobby, over here through the trophy room as well, to try to go down the ramp and try to make this a B execute. They missed the chance to eliminate Destiny here. He gets safely over towards control. Rush is still hunting for kills outside. This is a lost cause, and it's what lost them so many players at the beginning of the map too, or the round, I should say. As he does tag onto a little bit of damage, but nothing too serious. And now even going down Secret, he's going to have to fight for control to get inside of the site. His teammate's still looking for a way down there as well. There's really just nothing working out for them at this point. Finally, we do see Jason R getting a first kill against Showtime. And Rush, this has been like the battlefield for him and the rest of his teammates, but he gets too distracted by it, and Destiny's able to push back up. Jason R with the second one right now, but very low on HP. 21 to work with, and the timing on this peak from Yell could work out. Good decision to use the Molotov here, but I think Yell's just going to push against it anyway. Nap picking up one more, but Yell finalizes it with the scout. It ends up with a nice 3K on the round.
Yeah, Yell just making a play, running through the molly. Killed Jason R, who's just an animal this match. I mean, they almost won that round with 5.
Nasty. And that was from Furad's back, actually, but still a nice shot from Yell. I just want to showcase there one more time for you as he hits that one. Luminosity on the comeback path, but 9 more rounds to go. Still a very long way to cross it, and the first parts of it are going to be actually breaking the OpTic economy, which is very, very strong. In fact, they've got enough probably to buy for another 1 or 2 rounds after this one as well. So they're still looking pretty strong.
Nice smoke though by Yell, I like it. Just kind of mask any type of movement you have. The T's don't know if you're CT or T red. They don't know if you're left side big. They don't know if you went to secret quick or anything like that, or if you go close right underneath yellow. Just taking away that vision.
Although after a little bit of delay, it does look like OpTic's getting ready to deploy smokes and Molotovs into the site. So OpTic probably going to try to go for this pinch on the A site again. Problem is there's not really anybody watching out for the mini shed. So Yell is going to have to rotate in quickly, but he finds a great impact. Triple kill and the quad as well for Yell, as he does from that side on the mini shed there. Just close out on pretty much everyone from OpTic and kills that pinch single-handedly.
Yeah, and I believe that Mixwell and Tarek went through mini on that, and Yell just read it to perfection. He sees the shadows and just runs in. Gets how many? 3 kills.
Fourth as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised that OpTic is this well drilled though. That was a nice little strat that they had. Obviously they get flanked, but I mean, like, the nades were all there, the mollies were there. It was pretty well timed and whatnot. Yell countered it, of course, but I'm surprised that they're that well drilled.
Especially for, you know, even if this is like something from Hayes now coming in, this is like really short since they just announced him going on.
Do they now have the most talented coach?
I don't know. Possibly. Is he even in the game? I think he is. It's like, it's hard to tell. It's the Observer. I think the Observer takes up the second slot. Yeah, they can see LG's coach, but I think the other one isn't shown for some reason, so we won't know for sure. I'm going to assume yes, though. But anyway, Rush moving in, picks up that first kill on Destiny, and Tarek just, okay, hopping around. Somehow got all the way there without being noticed, but he does pick up an additional kill before being traded out by Yell. And now we are going to see SHZ taking down Jason R, leaving this into a 3v3 here now with Luminosity rotating down quickly, the plant coming in, and Nav choosing to take that duel there, does lose his own life. Mixwell with a scout in hand, tagging one more. It's been set up for Rush. 2 players tagged down extremely low. That door swing open, but they're both lined up. Rush is going to kill both of them, and now Yell trying to clutch with 9 HP behind the nuke. I don't think Rush realized that initially. Now just sticking the plant, but it doesn't work out. So Rush with another massive round of 4K to close out the map. And we do indeed see OpTic taking Nuke, going 1-0 to start off tonight.
Telling you, man, Rush, top 3 NA player. Getting it done.
Rush with some good...
G2, Vendetta told me. Yeah, Smith is the best. When I say most talented, I mean like as a player. He's the most talented player that is also a coach. But Hayes might be number 2.
All right, so after that one, of course, we're going to bring the analysts into the conversation to close out the discussion on map number 1 here, guys. Let's get your opinion on the way that map number 1 broke down and how OpTic pretty much just crushed it here.
I mean, in simple man's terms, I think it's easy to say that Luminosity just never really got that solid foothold or that good jump at any point in this game.
Yeah.
Did they ever have that solid footing to get started?
Yeah, I think their best opportunity really to get that foothold was first buy round. I think Dave's already mentioned the fact that they got the pistol round and then they had that swing round that went OpTic's way. Could have very easily gone Luminosity's way, and off of that they could have had a 5-0 lead, and you build stuff off of that. And I think for the better part of it, they actually had good initial ideas of what they wanted to do, how they wanted to play their T side. I think their execution though was a bit sloppy. You rarely actually saw them getting into if you want to call it their set for the round without actually having lost a man or being heavily tagged up on multiple players, to the point where OpTic, even though they might not be in the right places at the right time, have done enough damage to Luminosity to the point where the actual take from the Brazilians is not going to be as effective.
Well, OpTic doing a lot of damage. Rush in particular in this demo we're going to load up right here for you. Rush really snagging in 5 kills here. Yeah,
and you're seeing why Dace constantly labels him as the best CT-sided player in A, pretty much, together with Tim on C9, and ramp push, and from that rotator position, just constantly being active, being able to find 2 players initially there, all by his lonesome. And after a bit of wandering around the world with Yell and Showtime, they're going to get found out by Rush as well to end it out and close out the round with an ace. That's the second ace of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it though.
No, I'm confident that it's the second ace. I'm just completely lapsing on who the first player was to get an ace, but I know we had one.
Well, you know where you could go to find out who it was, right?
I think it's a place called youtube.com/ESLCS.
This guy's good.
And you can also find all the matches, all the games from both EU and NA for the entire season.
Well, because I was actually watching that VOD back.
Yeah.
It was actually Shroud who got that ace.
There we go,
So close.
On top of things.
On top of things. Now look, Daze brought up a point here that there was when you play this map, it's easy to have holes in the CT side.
Yeah.
You can find an avenue of approach to just about any bomb site or any part of the map and really just slip past. And that's one thing that he did say about the Brazilians, that they were just more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, and that's initially why I wanted to side with Luminosity going into this, because I thought they were playing with, I thought OpTic was playing with Haste instead of Jason R, but they've already played Nuke with Jason R. So OpTic have, a bit of a better feel for each other, how they want to rotate, how they want to play that CT side, which is massive for them. And I think that narrows down the amount of opportunities that Luminosity will have to actually, find those crevices here and there on the map to create chaos within the ranks of OpTic on their CT side.
You got to find the crevices.
Yeah,
it's pivotal. Let's load up this replay real quick right now. The second pistol round 16.
Yeah, so you can see Jason R setting up for a Heaven Smoke early on, and this is pretty cool. Oftentimes we've seen VP actually do this, but without the Heaven Smoke as well, and still finding a lot of effect with it. It's going to be just straight up just power and overmanning everyone on the Luminosity side. And the cool thing about it, and one of the reasons why that Heaven Smoke works out so nicely, is that if you see Heaven Smoke as a CT player on that side, you're going to draw out behind it. You're going to go into Heaven or out on rafters. You're not going to actually dive into the bomb site because you're expecting something like an upper push, and you don't want to get caught out where you're like standing in the open against 3 players. Right. That's not a good idea. So you back out, but that also allows, every T who runs out from under Heaven to get a free pass onto the site, and you're all of a sudden completely isolated by your own doing. So it's, it's not super advanced, but it's a cool idea and a very cool execution from OpTic's side, which, not necessarily something you'd expect from a team playing with a stand-in.
Well, OpTic does take Nuke 16-7, it was kind of a toss-up which way it could have went, but we do see now that OpTic were able to take that in pretty dominant fashion. When we come back, we're going to be going to another map here, and it's going to be Overpass, so make sure you don't go anywhere.